cut for sabotage. Sitting up there on the fuselage. That little tray can do more than a man can do. Rosé the Riveter.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Lori Trahan. I want to congratulate Habitat for Humanity of Greater Lowell on your 30th anniversary. I'm so honored to be a part of this kickoff celebration for Women Build Week. And I can't begin to tell you how thrilled I am to see this program and others like it highlighted right here in our community, especially during Women's History Month. Educating women about financial planning, home ownership, and maintenance is critically important, and I applaud each of you at Habitat for Humanity for tackling it head on. Fixing the affordable housing crisis takes a village, and women are integral members of that village. Thank you for all the work you do to support our hardworking neighbors, especially women throughout the Greater Lowell region, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Welcome. We're so glad you're joining us virtually to kick off Greater Lowell Habitat's Women Build 2021. This past week, we were one of 300 Habitat affiliates across the country participating in International Women's Week. Since 2008, Habitat for Humanity of Greater Lowell Women Build events have rallied over 800 women to raise almost $115,000 and help build 22 homes. This year, as we celebrate our 30th anniversary and begin our 50th home, we invite you to join over 150 women to build and help raise over $100,000 to make this possible. Our Women Build initiative empowers women to learn a skill, help build a home, and make a difference in our community. We encourage women, but not excluding you men, of all ages from all walks of life to work together to build strength, stability, and independence for local families by making home ownership a reality. The power of a group of women is unstoppable, and with this force for good, Habitat Lowell's goal is to end poverty housing and build homes for families. This year, our Women Build program will sponsor the completion of the Amador's home in Billerica, as well as kicking off a duplex project in Concord, which will start later on this spring. The family that will live in these homes are hardworking themselves. They will put in 225 to 450 hours of sweat equity into building their home, working side-by-side volunteers. Will pay a zero-interest affordable mortgage and ultimately build a strong foundation for their family's future. Today, you'll learn why access to safe, decent, affordable housing is so important. Learn how to read a blueprint, enjoy inspiring stories from partner families, and even learn how to make our Women Build signature cocktail, Rosé the Riveter. And now, a very special message from our Rosé the Riveter presenting sponsor, Nancy Donahue.
One of the reasons that I am happy to support Habitat for Humanity is because their concept of helping people help themselves is so important. Because people are invested in the whole project of building a house for themselves, from banging nails to taking classes, they'll have more pride in themselves and success as homeowners. I think the slogan, hand up, not a handout, is what makes Habitat a success. Another reason is that if children grow up in their own home, it seems they are more apt to feel more secure and confident in their daily lives. Having helped build their own home, it shows them what is possible if you work hard. I would encourage everyone to support Habitat for Humanity in whatever large or small way that they can. Habitat helps not only families, but the whole community. The cost of housing has become out of reach for so many families. Did you know that 1 in 6 households spend more than half of their income just on housing, and that Massachusetts is now the 3rd most expensive place to live, where the fair market rent for a 2-bedroom home is $1,847. In order to afford this level of rent, with utilities, and not spend over 30% of your income, you would need to earn $6,150 a month, or $73,809 per year. In simple terms, you would need to make $35.53 an hour. Today, nearly 1/3 to 1/2 of all households spend over that 30%. Habitat believes in a world where everyone deserves a decent, simple place to live, and continues to serve as a voice to help change laws and shape policies that will advance access to safe, decent, affordable homes.
Hi, my name is John Maslowski. I'm the construction manager for Greater Lowell Habitat for Humanity, and today I'll be going over all the different parts to a blueprint. It's very important to have a good set of blueprints when you start a project. They might be expensive, but it's well worth it. The first part of a blueprint is something called a site plan. What a site plan tells you is the overall size of your lot and where exactly you will be building on that lot. This is good for the foundation, this is good for all landscaping, and this tells you exactly where your addition or home is being built on the lot. The second blueprint needed is something called a foundation plan. What the foundation plan is when they go to dig the holes for all the footings with the excavators, it shows you exactly to detail what is needed in the location of the foundation. That would include how thick the walls are, that would include how many footings in the basement, and basically all the structural concrete to hold up your structure. The next part of a plan is something called a cross section. It's where basically if you took a house and you cut it in half, you would see every aspect from foundation all the way up to the peak of the house. And it shows all the details, all the important details to a house, from insulation to floor joists to lally columns in the basement to roof rafters, the pitch, the overall height of your house or addition, and it's a very useful part of the plans as far as when you're planning ahead and doing stock lists and things to meet code. The cross section gives you everything from gravel detail underneath the foundation, underneath the slab, types of beams holding up the house, and it's a very useful part of the plan.
Hi, my name is Clara, and I am a mother of 3 children, age 16, 12, and 8. There's not really no words to describe the feeling. I still feel like I'm dreaming. It means everything for me and my kids to have a safe home to live, something that I can provide for them. So it means the world to us. You don't realize how much goes into a house, building a house, and the fact that you get to see your house being built from the bottom, from raising the roof, from it to be completed, from the help of your coworkers, your friends, family, and all the volunteers. It just makes it that much more special.
All right, the next part of the plan, or blueprints, is something called a floor plan. What the floor plan shows is a helicopter view of each floor and exactly where the walls, interior walls are going, exterior walls are going, and closets, bathrooms. You can even go as far as writing in the beds or dressers to see how things fit, and it gives you a general overall view of your house or your bedroom. It gives you all the measurements. It gives you the window dimensions, the center lines to windows, and it's basically the heart and soul of the blueprint. This is definitely the most used part of the blueprint as far as when you're framing an addition or a house. So in blueprints, there's different details and different schedules for windows, doors, how to build your deck correctly. This is just an example of the window and door schedule, and it shows you all the unit sizes and all the rough opening sizes. So whenever you hear someone say RO, that stands for rough opening. So when the contractor or whoever's framing your house, they would look at the window and door schedule, and they would go right down the list of how big the ROs are, and that would tell them how big to frame the openings for your windows and doors. This is just one example of a schedule, but like I said, there's different codes on structural stuff for your deck and how to mount your deck to your house. You'll see a lot of different details on the plans or blueprints. So what we have here is the elevation views. So after you spend all this money on an architect, and you don't really understand what the other plans are saying, this is the plan where you can kind of put into your head of what your house is going to look like. You'll really understand it by looking at it, and then you can make changes with the architect and get a final set of blueprints after you go. He might give you a couple ideas, you might have a couple ideas, but this elevation view basically gives you a 2D view of exactly what your house is going to look like, from siding to roofing to the type of deck you're doing, and it's a really helpful tool with the homeowners and the architect to get your plan right.
My name is Tracy LeBlanc, and we are standing in my Habitat for Humanity home in the works. I'm so fortunate. This is going to be so good for my kids and I. I don't know how to thank everybody. I've met some of the nicest people from all walks of life, and they come here just wanting to help somebody they've never met. They leave me these beautiful notes, but they write in the wood and send us blessings and well wishes, and I've made friends, and thank you isn't enough, but everyone out there is looking for donations, and there's so many causes, and if you want to feel that you're giving to an organization that's doing something real for people and for families immediately and seeing real results, you can know that if you donate anything at all to Habitat for Humanity, whether it's money or your time, it's really making a difference in people's lives. And I think that's what you want to feel when you give.
So what we have here is the framing plan. This is basically the bones of your house. Very important. You don't see any of this framing once it's all covered up with wallboard. But for instance, this is the first floor framing plan. So it tells you exactly how the architect and engineer want your whole floor laid out, supporting beams, beam pockets, and basically how the whole structure is going to hold up. In this case, we're in New England, Massachusetts, so the engineer needs to account for snow load and hurricane ties, and all different stuff go into what size lumber you need to frame your house. And this goes all the way over to second floor framing, and it just gives you all different notes on the side of exactly how the engineer and architect want this house framed. It's very important for the framer to follow these very closely so it will pass inspection, because once it's framed, it's very hard to go back and change things. So you want to make sure your framer understands them, and then that way there'll be no issues in the future. Now that you understand the parts of a blueprint, this translates to safe, decent, affordable homes for our Habitat families. Yep. Come learn about blueprints in the upcoming months by volunteering at Greater Lowell Habitat.
The best thing about working in my home and putting hours towards my sweat equity is that I get to meet new people, and all the volunteers are great. They are very supportive, and I appreciate every single one of them. And one of the best things about owning a home is that I won't have to worry about my rent increasing. There will be more income, stability, and I am able to save money and pay for my own home.
As we mark the end of International Women Build Week, Habitat for Humanity's work has highlighted what the pandemic continues to reveal, that women are facing unprecedented challenges, and the need for safe, decent, and healthy housing has never been more important. The role of home has changed forever. From our staff and volunteers to all our homeowners, we're proud of the women working every day to provide for themselves and their families. Enjoy these messages of hope from women Habitat homeowners, in many cases heads of household, who continue to be on the front lines for their families, maintaining a place their children can call home. Empower one another, make an impact, make a difference, change lives. Women Build is women leading with impact, building strength, stability, and independence. You can register for a Build Day, join a team, or make a donation at bit.ly/Lowell Habitat Women Build.
Hello, my name is Kathy Johnson. I'm a former board member of Habitat Greater Lowell. I want to thank Kim for asking me to come join today. It's so great to be with all of you. I'm a huge fan of Habitat. Habitat's such a great organization that helps give a hands up and not a hands out. And the Women's Build is such an amazing opportunity and way to get involved. It takes place every year in over 300 locations, and I myself am currently in California. I want you to take a moment and just think about what it's like to have a home. For me, it creates many memories with my children, my husband, and my greater family. And you have an opportunity to help make that difference for so many women as well and their families. All right, so I've been asked to do this today to be KJ Bartender. That's how you can refer to me for the rest of the day. And I've been asked to make a special drink with all of you that the Habitat team has come up with. You won't find this recipe anywhere else. And it's called Rosé the Riveter. Now, you can imagine what that's based on. It is based on Rosé the Riveter. We all know that iconic image of Rosé the Riveter. She came about during World War II when women were working in factories and in shipbuilding. But I learned something new just preparing for this session. I learned that there's a song called Rosé the Riveter.
The rain or shine, she's a part of the assembly line. She's making history, working for victory. Rosie, the riveter, keeps the shop.
Now, I sure wish I could roll my R's like that. I can't. You can practice it after you've made this drink. Okay, so now we're gonna make Rosé the Riveter. Okay, I'm gonna tell you all the ingredients. You can go get those together and then we're gonna make it together. You can use gin or vodka. I'm a huge Citron Kettle One fan, so that's gonna be my go-to. You need Campari. This isn't something I normally have at home, but what a fabulous color. It's gonna make the drink so amazing. All right, in addition to that, you are going to need sparkling rosé. Now, I told you I was from California. I prefer you get this from the Napa region, but you know what? Any will do. Well, I'm fine with that. All right, in addition, you're gonna need some honey. This is my fabulous orange blossom honey, my favorite. And then you're gonna also need fresh orange juice and fresh lime juice. Now, I think I mentioned I live in California. These are both from my garden. You can buy them at the grocery store. In addition to that, you'll need a strawberry that we will muddle. You'll need some ice and an orange garnish. All right, shall we make our drink together? Okay, you're gonna take a shaker. We're gonna take about 1.5 ounces of your gin or your vodka, okay? And we're gonna measure that out and put that right into our shaker, okay? After that, you're gonna do 1/2 ounce of this fabulous red beverage, Campari. I actually don't know what it tastes like. It's gonna be kind of fun to try it, okay? And you're gonna add that right into your shaker as well. Then you're gonna take your honey, and any honey will do. Right, and I told you this is my favorite. I actually only use honey with one of these fabulous honey sticks, so I'm just doing an estimation. But you're gonna want 1/2 ounce of honey. Now, in addition to that, you're gonna do 3/4 ounce fresh lemon juice and pour that right into your shaker. And you're gonna do 1/2 ounce fresh orange juice and pour that into your shaker as well. Then you're gonna take this fabulous, muddling is so fun. You've had a bad day. It's great to get out the aggression. You're gonna add that muddled strawberry right into your shaker as well, okay? We're then gonna shake this up, and while we're doing that, let's listen to Rosé the Riveter as well. Again, I mean, as we make our drink, Rosé the Riveter. Here we go. Let's shake it.
All the day long, where the rain or shine, she's a part of the assembly line. She's making history work.
All right, after some good shaking, you're gonna take whatever fabulous glass you want to. Remember, you're special, you're giving to Habitat. take something special with it. We're gonna put in a couple of ice cubes to just make it cold. We are going to pour our drink into this. And then we recommend that you also garnish it with an orange. Now, I know, I'm from California. It's from my garden, but you can use any orange. And this is what this fabulous drink looks like. Isn't that amazing? Now, I want to thank you all for listening. I want to thank you for joining this session. I want you to think about what home means to you and think about how you can help create a home for someone else.
And don't forget to top off your signature cocktail with your favorite sparkling rosé. Cheers! Your support makes a big difference for Habitat for Humanity of Greater Lowell, and we are honored that you joined us today. Our goal is to grow our community and share our mission of eliminating substandard housing with as many supportive, caring, and creative people as possible. So, whether you registered for this virtual event, plan to sign up to volunteer during Women Build in May or September, or maybe you're interested in creating a peer-to-peer fundraiser on our behalf, our Women Build events are meant to be shared. So, spread the word on social media using hashtag Lowell Habitat Women Build. We're also recruiting sponsors, teams, and individual participants now. Learn more online at bit.ly/Lowell Habitat Women Build.